Hello and welcome to the Bumble Cast. My name is Marvin. I am here with Barkles and Vader. How
When
are
did
you
you
guys?
become the host?
Well, since everyone was talking and I decided that I wanted to have a go at it.
Drops the punchline every time.
Are you recording as well then?
Well, we all record, don't we? And
No,
then
I
you...
just said it was too difficult, so I'll just do it. Because no one's
Right.
listening anyway, so...
Well, I'm not recording, so...
Okay,
Fuck
so
it.
that's fine. It does annoy me having the recording thing set up, so it's all good.
I'm really cold. That's a good way to start, isn't it? Because
is.
it's fucking
It's freezing.
snowing. I tell you what, let me just have a quick look, see what the temperature is outside where I live. It's -1 right now, which is warm for this week. It's down to -12.
Ooh, I want to check the temp.
Who's got it's like a biggest dick competition, but for temperature.
Oh, I meant positives, but...
We've literally had snowdrifts here. Like, we live at different parts of the country. I live in North Wales. Barkles lives in
Southeast,
the southeast. And Vader lives in the
Northeast.
northwest.
Northeast.
Northeast.
It's
There we go.
fucking
Northeast.
Liverpool. It doesn't sound like Scouser, does it?
The northeast.
Liverpool.
I haven't robbed any cars yet.
Yeah, so we all live at different parts of the country, and we've had the beast from the east come in over the past few days.
Yeah.
And it's...
I'll agree with you on that one. It does sound like a fucking porn star.
It does. The beast from the east has come in, and it is now snowy, and everything is kind of shutting down, and plans aren't happening, and it's awful, isn't it?
Snow's just started for you, hasn't it? It hasn't been snowy this week, most of it for you.
Who?
It's just for you. Is it just started?
No, it's snowed a lot
all week.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Right.
We've also had Storm Emma come in.
Yeah, we've had Storm Emma. She's very, her and the beast from the east. Oh fuck.
Worth the money though.
Shit. What you
Worth
say?
the money though.
Yeah.
it's good pay-per-view.
So yeah,
Oh.
everything
Oh.
is. We normally have our heating quite high up anyway, and I never have my radiator on because it's just warm enough in my room from the rest of the house. And I don't really like it being too warm because when I sleep, I rather cuddle up into my blanket and make myself warm that way rather than sweating and not being able to cool myself down, which I think is equally. But when I've had over the past few storms and everything, I've had to have my radiator on, but my radiator is either off or boiling. There's no in between really.
Oh, that's lovely, man.
No, it's awful.
Well, the way our house is plumbed, if you want to run a bath or have a shower, the heating comes on at full blast. But the thing is, the heating pipes run underneath the bathroom. So you're in the bathroom, you put the bath on, the heater comes on at full whack as well. So you're absolutely roasting in our bathroom.
That's awful. That's
But
that's
it's
the
lovely.
wrong
It's
way
like a
of plumbing
fucking
things.
sauna. It's lovely. You sweat all your problems away and like basically pass
That's
out
not
in
a
the
bath
bath as
though.
well.
Like a bath, in my mind, is having a freezing cold head and a boiling body, and that's
No, you just want to be really tight. The perfect bath is where you're not like really, really hot, so you're sweating and you can't breathe, but you're not cold. Like you're just sort of sitting as if like it's t-shirt weather, like with summer breeze. It's like that sort of warm.
I take it we've all tried that thing where we just leave the hot tap on for to fill the entire bath and then try to see if we can get in it.
No,
No.
'cause
Or is
that's
that
called
just
committing
me?
suicide.
no, because I've
Oh,
never
I
tried it.
have tried that multiple
you
times.
know that's actually a suicide method.
I don't hate myself, Vader.
Is it?
Yeah.
Skin goes red. I look like a fucking lobster.
Did
Yeah,
you
no,
ever-
I
Did you ever watch Art Attack when you were younger?
no, yeah.
What,
I did.
wasn't that
Yeah,
guy a convicted paedophile?
No, he didn't. He killed himself because his girlfriend killed herself in the bathtub by boiling the bathtub and getting in it and killing herself in it.
Oh,
Yeah, he killed himself in panic.
I thought you got convicted.
No, you're thinking about someone else. There's quite a lot of BBC people from the 1970s to 2000s that are convicted paedophiles now.
Talking about baths, I went to
I thought you were going to go on a tangent about
I
paedophiles.
I thought I'd direct us away from that
Minefield.
I went to Slovakia one summer. I know what a place to go. Basically, my dad was working out there for a few months, and it was cheaper for me and my mum to go see him than it was for him to take so much time off work to come see us. So we went out
Fair
there, and it was good. And there was, I think it was Hungary or something. We travelled to Hungary over a weekend or whatever, and we went to go see this bath that was basically thermally heated from a mountain that was nearby. So
Volvic.
it was
Oh, I've heard
snowing.
about one of those.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
snowing on
Yeah.
the outside, but yeah, in the bath it was absolutely freezing. It
You
was
mean
so
boiling?
hot that they had two baths. Two pools. One of the pools was kid friendly, and that was fine. And the other pool was not allowed for kids. And bearing in mind, I was about 12, 13 at the time. My mum and dad left me, so I was just in a pool with a load of strangers. It wasn't really a swimming around pool either, but when
I
you're
thought you were
12
getting away from paedophiles here.
Sounds yeah.
But I was swimming around and stuff, which wasn't really allowed, so we kind of got told off.
Oh.
Yeah, but
Well,
when you're in
the
Europe,
pool police are gonna chuck you out.
well, no, I think it's just the people that own the pool just kind of go, well, don't swim around with people who are trying to relax. When we pulled up, actually, we went to the car park. This woman came over, was like, "Oh, you pay for ticket," and we're like, "Okay, yeah." When we tried
Which
to
is like you want a
we tried
handle
to
as well.
we tried to pay her euros or something. She was like, "No, we know, like, we don't accept euros. We don't accept euro." And we were like, "Okay, well, we've only got euros. Let me." And my dad was like, trying to calm her down. Hang on, let me just go to the car and find some, find some. I don't know what money they wanted. Find the currency that you wanted. I'm sure he had a pound or two in that currency, given that he lived out there for so long. So he was trying to find it, frantically. And she was just screaming at him, and that's what I really remember about that trip. This woman screaming at my dad for not buying a ticket for his car.
Fair enough.
Um,
Did you actually have a schedule for right now?
what?
You did have a schedule, didn't you, for this?
Well, yeah, I kind of just put a lot of bullet points for this Bumble cast,
yeah.
so that when we talk, we're not gonna stop
Bumble.
talking at any point.
Yeah,
was-
we're not
that
gonna
was-
fumble and bumble along.
Yeah, we're not gonna bumble.
But yeah, I've actually, surprisingly, this week I've only taken one day off of work.
Why have you taken that day off, though?
Well, because I couldn't. It was the first day we had proper snow, and
Yeah.
my dad said he'd take me in, and he ended up couldn't take me in. My mum wouldn't let me drive, so
I
the
was
next
looking
day
forward to the drifting montage to be found on the way to work.
Well, yeah, I was going to as well, but my dad took me in on Wednesday, and then I took myself in on Thursday. But the thing is, I was going to go onto one of our fields at work because I forgot to say I had a job. I've got a job now, haven't I?
Yeah, you
Anyway.
have. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's changed. How tell us about your job?
We'll tell you about my job.
Yeah, let's talk about you.
Oh yeah,
It's like we're on a date.
Since the last one, because we decided to suspend Bumblecast until I actually got a job, so I had something to talk about.
Yeah, we did a Bumble. The reason we have not been doing these as regularly is because none of us had anything interesting to talk about, so we decided we wasn't going to do a flat Bumblecast, and rather we would wait
We
until.
waited,
Yeah,
And we did.
and we,
and
you
we
know,
did.
you know
And
what I
Vader's
still
still
have nothing to talk
useless
about.
at talking.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So I work at a prestige car dealership in the southeast. I'm not going to tell you which one because otherwise you're going to come and tell them I'm shit at my job or something.
Draw cock on your bonnet or something.
Basically.
I mean, I could do that anyways.
Same. I've
Don't
already
need to
done
wait
that.
until you're at work.
But yeah, I do that, and I'm a office coordinator, and a sort of trainee
Sales person.
Yeah.
That's what happens
Yeah.
to most places, though. You start at the bottom, work your way up.
Well,
Yeah,
there's no
it's
real...
a good experience.
A building block.
It's a good
Yeah.
job. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
You know.
A lot
there's
of
lots
people think that going to university is the only way to succeed in life, and that's kind of the old message of things, isn't it?
I mean, to
Well-
be fair, I know loads of people that went to university and never used the grades that they got out of it in any job.
It kind of does look good. It shows the application of learning.
It shows you can sit in a room for 3 years and not get fucking
I mean,
bored.
to be fair though, if you've got a fucking master's degree or whatever in French, when the fuck is that going to help you with building car parts or whatever the fuck you choose to do?
I mean, okay. So if you had so if I saw the thing by Elon Musk earlier today, and he was saying I would not always require a university degree for people that work for me. You look at people like Steve Jobs and people like Bill Gates. Okay, none of them had university degrees, but if you had the opportunity to hire them, that would be a good idea. So it's the same. It's the same rule applies for anything, really, isn't it? I mean, you can't really
Yeah.
have a university degree in sales either. I mean, you maybe can. I'm sure there
You
is a
can. You
university.
can do it in business administration, business and finance, and management and all that stuff. And no, you never know. Who knows? Maybe somewhere down the line, I might do a part-time degree and do that if I
I mean, I'm
decide
I'm
it's
a
worth it.
salesman at the moment, for not a prestige car dealership, just a Jalfrezi Planet, technology store.
Well, shit up the walls, yeah.
And I don't think that a university degree would have helped me in my job at all, being able to sell things to customers.
You do work in like retail. It's not normally the sort of thing they do when you graduate university.
No, because
I mean, to be fair, it would be more beneficial having
but
training.
I mean, I work in retail, but I don't work in the typical retail environment. Typical retail environment would be like Sports Direct, which I previously worked in, which is helping customers maybe buy something quickly, only having 10 minutes to talk about them, and then pretty much treating the store like it's a warehouse with moving stock around and stuff. But with the application of with the Jalfrezi Planet, the store I work in at the moment, it's very customer based and it's very sales based. When they're buying a TV that costs as much as a car, you kind of have to be
well, defined as much as a car, because I can tell you what, after I've never sat like. Can I go back to me in a minute?
Yeah, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, day one of my job. Keep in mind, I'm 19. I drive a BMW, an old one.
One that has no indicators.
It has perfectly fine indicators, thank you.
The work they just never used. That's why they still work.
Well, I haven't fallen off of my BMW yet, so.
Oh, just wait until you fucking crash it. The shit is gonna be ripped out of you.
I'll add context to that joke. Vader drives a motorcycle, so
and he falls off it all the time. And he spends more time in the workshop than out of it.
If you can call a moped a motorcycle,
a moped. It's got a lovely set of gears and.
So it's a high-end moped.
Fuck you.
It's a moped with chavs that don't really want to call it a moped. Anyway,
Yeah.
it's a lovely bike, man. I've seen your bike; it's lovely. I don't mean to rip the shit out of it, but day one, I was kind of just like, look, you can drive the cars. They gave me the keys to this sort of old ass like Saab estate thing, which was fun. And then sort of like
Saab's a good get, man. I mean, like I see my mum's dream car when she was growing up was a Saab convertible.
Oh,
so,
wow, she needs bigger goals. I gotta say, that Saab I drove, it wasn't very nice. So day two, I was like, okay, can you take this car to service? So I drove a Hyundai thing, which was terrible. And then day three, for some reason, keep in mind I'm office based. I spent all day out delivering cars, and then I drove back from a auction in Hampshire, pretty much, which is about 90 miles away from our dealership, in a £30,000 Mercedes SUV.
Just go back to that Saab. Did it have a nice wooden veneered dash?
No,
by any
black.
chance?
We called it the Saab of Dreams because it had a really.
Sounds pretty fucking depressing.
Mate,
sounds like something the Beast of the East would drive in.
Yeah, get a shag pile rug and like a leopard skin blanket or something. Yeah. No, but it was good. It had a twin turbo 2.2 litre petrol, I think, and it did 200 and something brake horsepower, so it wasn't too bad. But we sold it.
That's another company that shut down, isn't it? Saab. Well, Saab is owned by.
Saab was GM, so basically you still buy a Saab. It's just fucking hell! So I burnt my belly button with it.
He got so excited by that sentence, he burnt himself with it.
I was
fucking self-harmed whilst talking.
I got a bit cold, so I thought
He got so triggered by me saying that Saab had shut down. He was like, "Hang on."
I mean, a lot of car brands, so General Motors now.
I mean, it's really hard to.
Nothing's branded as GM though.
Well,
fucking hell! It's so hot.
Is GM not owned by BMW? No.
No, GM is GM. It just is GM. This is going to
Car
turn into a car
companies are boring,
podcast.
guys. Can we not talk about this? I mean,
You talked about TVs for a good 15 minutes.
Yeah, that is quite true. None of us have the knowledge of TVs except for you.
Yeah,
But
well, I take it into consideration.
well, it is interesting, you know. We're not passing that, so we get a lot of like raggedy old cars, you know, in our dealership because people trade them in. Generally, we deal with Land Rover and big stuff, but you occasionally get some really big shit boxes. So the other day I went out to this Vauxhall Zafira that was traded in. It was lovely.
So how does that happen, though? I
What do you
want to
mean?
buy a really nice
What, a
what
Range
is it they
Rover?
called Range Rover. I want to buy a really nice Range Rover. Here is my Vauxhall Corsa I've been driving for the last 5 years. Is that really how it happens?
Well,
Like, do
not.
people
I'm
really
not
go
gonna
from a
lie.
Vauxhall Corsa
No,
to?
not a lot. A lot of the time, people who are trading in the shit ones are buying the lower end stuff. Like they might be buying. We sold a brown Honda, and these people traded in a Mondeo, which the
Right.
biggest history file. But honestly, we have an Aston Martin that doesn't have a big enough history. But it doesn't have as a bigger history file as this Ford Mondeo we got.
What,
Yeah.
MOT?
No, like this guy takes every single receipt from his Ford Mondeo from 2003. Like every
really?
single one.
It's nice to have that though, because you know exactly what's happened to the car.
Yeah. Well, it's supposed.
For example,
it has
when I sold my moped, I gave them all the paperwork that I had, all the garage bills, its service book, all the shit
yeah.
that would come with it. It's nice to have that when you're selling a vehicle.
But yeah, it's more like so what a lot of people do. So they'll go from. So to answer your question, if you had your Corsa for 5 years, we'd appraise your Corsa. So we'd say what damages have. We go on, a lot of time we base it off WeBuyAnyCar.com. You know that website where they buy
Yeah, yeah,
anything.
Oh,
So
where
we
they
do
give
that.
you money, fuck all money for the car.
But the thing is,
We're going to give you a 20 quid for a car that is worth more than your house.
A lot of the time, though, our
Basically.
houses are like not house. Our cars are a lot more high end that they're trying to trade in. So they might be like an older Range Rover, and they're trying to trade into a new one. So it's started 20 grand. So we don't generally offer a bit more than We Buy Any Car, and then depends on what the car is because we've got an original like Porsche Cayenne thing from 2007. And I don't know how this happened, but there's 8-inch house screws sticking out the back of the car to hold the number plate on. Like I don't understand how people just
Right.
don't take care of their cars. I'm so good with my cars. I take care of them, and I got in this Vauxhall Zafira the
Super
other
glue
day.
would be
I
better
mean,
than that.
that's because, well, at least 2 out of 3 of us have the mindset of we look after a car. It's not just a transport.
What are you trying to say, Vader?
Well, you don't
We
have
don't.
a car.
I
You
don't
don't
have a car,
drive.
no, but it doesn't mean
so
I wouldn't
I
want.
wouldn't know.
I
Well-
take car. I take care of my visible car.
What?
But yeah, I got in this like.
Yeah, a lot of people just don't care about their car, so they'll just
Well,
treat it
thing
like
is-
shit.
Vauxhall especially are bad. I found Vauxhall customers. Like, no offense to you, but like the people that So we had a Corsa, and the glove box somehow been ripped out of it, and it smelt like something had died in it. And then I got in
Probably
this
something
Zafira-
did die in it.
Well, the thing is, I got in the Zafira the other day, and I was like, oh, I need to put the service book in the glove box. So I tried it in the glove box, and someone had screwed it shut with a screw through the glove
I
box.
mean, if it's open, if it's
Yeah.
stuck open,
That-
I'd rather have it stuck shut than open.
This is completely off topic, but it reminds me of a story that I want to tell. It's quite funny.
Is it when you got beaten up by an Irish bloke in a Tesco
No, this
car
is later.
park?
This is later. This is
This
basically
better be
one
things
year.
stuck open.
Do you know there's people that put things like put glitter in birthday cards, so when you open
Yeah.
it, you get
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah, glitter bomb. Yeah.
Yeah, well, my auntie, for my sister's 18th or something, my auntie put a load of, like, so much glitter in this huge card, and the card was huge. Okay, so she opened it up, and all over the house there was glitter everywhere. My mum was so annoyed. It was ridiculous. She couldn't show it at the time. So I hoovered up all the glitter and everything.
Like a good
Then
child,
got
yeah.
all the glitter from the Hoover, and I put it in the do you know the sun visor of her Vauxhall Corsa, or her Corsa at the time.
What, you put the glitter in the sun visor?
Do you know the bit the sun protector? Do you know?
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
above-
I know what
Yeah.
you mean.
I put all the glitter in there, and I put it in every single compartment I could think of. Okay.
If you did this to my car, I'm just saying, I would actually murder you. Like,
So I put it
genuinely.
in there with the idea of thinking it was a sunny day. So when she got into her car, she would lift it down and it'd go all
And it's
over
just gonna
her.
go all over her.
So I did that. She was driving down the motorway or whatever, and she did that, and she crashed and she died. No, I'm kidding. No, she.
Fuck you.
I was gonna say I know your sister's alive because you were telling me how awkward it was with her ex-boyfriend or something.
What?
I
I
missed
don't know
out
what
on
you were saying.
this.
Something about how you were pedoing on her
What are you talking
ex-boyfriend kid or something. Or was that Brie?
Oh no! That wasn't called. That's nothing. Do not go there. I know what you're on about. No,
No, that
don't
wasn't
go
me.
there.
My auntie's a
That
lesbian.
wasn't Carl. That's got nothing to do with Carl's sister.
I got really confused. My auntie's a lesbian, so it had
I
no.
wasn't
I
talking
was
about
got.
your auntie.
I had no. I don't know what you just said.
It's one from his sister to someone else's sister to his auntie being a lesbian. What the fuck has happened?
My auntie's a lesbian, you know.
Oh.
Yeah, you know.
So what did happen with your glitter?
Well, it went all over, and she drove the car back straight to our house, and she kind of made me clear it all up. Yeah.
Did she punch you?
No, she just kind of got out of the car, went in, and made a cup of tea, and then she saw me, and she was like, you better go hoover my car. So I had to go hoover her car.
Moving on.
To be fair, I wouldn't have.
So
I think I was like 9, and I was terrified of my auntie.
So I probably shouldn't say this, but
She was great, but yeah.
we
Go
had
ahead.
a
Oh wait,
very...
it was your auntie's car. I thought it was your sister's.
Oh no, this is my auntie's car.
Oh.
You said your sister.
Oh
Yeah.
no, it was my sister's 18th. And
Oh,
then-
I thought you
and-
meant it was your sister's car.
No, I put it in my auntie's
Oh,
car.
that's where his auntie came from. Saying, oh, okay.
That's with lesbian.
Yeah, that's where that came from.
Okay, does that
Anyway.
make
Makes
sense?
sense
Story
now.
cleared up. Anyway, moving on.
So I probably shouldn't say this, but we keep all our keys in a big toolbox at work. So
I thought you were saying at home. Then I was like, okay, thanks for letting
At
us
least
know.
it's not a key box, in
Well, it
an
is a key
obvious.
box. We call it our key box, but we have to we take it home and we don't leave it in the dealership.
I was gonna say many places get the key boxes that go on the wall.
Yeah.
But the first thing when somebody breaks in is they smash it off the wall, smash it open, then take all the keys.
Yeah, legally we have to take them out and take them home with us at night. But
Ah,
Well, it's
for
probably not
insurance.
legal. It's probably an insurance issue.
Yeah, it's insurance. So
yeah.
But anyway, so we obviously tag our keys up best we can, but occasionally things go wrong. So, for example, someone might leave the keys to a £60,000 Range Rover in the ignition.
Did you
overnight.
leave the keys to a
No.
£60,000? Okay.
I haven't had any mishaps, but
Oh, I know where
took
you're
out
going
the
with
key
this.
I took out the key the other day. Well, I was looking for a car the other day, and I took out the key, and I said, I didn't know we had a Volkswagen Polo. And my boss said, no, we don't. And I said, so why have we got the keys to one? And then he said, are you sure that's not the Tiguan outside? Because we have a Volkswagen Tiguan. I said, well, I'll go check it to make sure it's not mislabeled. And it wouldn't open. And then I said, we had a Polo the other week? And he said, yeah, we did. And what we found out we'd done is we'd given this person one key to their Polo and one key to the other car we had outside.
Oh no.
So we had to get this poor lady in to come and, do all that stuff. But then we've completely, yesterday, we lost a Mercedes. We just genuinely lost the Mercedes. We didn't know where it had gone.
Fuck, did you just
How?
lose a car?
How?
It's
We have,
big enough.
We have 5 Mercedes SUVs. And we forgot one of them. We forgot we owned one of them for about 4 months. We only put it on the system.
Yeah.
We just had it in the car park. We forgot about it.
Right.
I mean, you've got
Well, I
to be
wish I
pretty
could-
rich
I-
just to
I
forget
wish,
that you.
yeah, I wish I was that rich, just to
Well,
forget
we've got
that I had a
about
Mercedes.
We've got 1.5 million pounds of stock at the moment. We've got 50 cars.
Are you sure you're allowed to give this information?
Well, yeah, it's public.
Well, to be fair, you can just walk around the dealership and count it up as you go.
You
You
know,
really
yeah,
wanted
okay.
to.
Yeah.
but
Companies in the UK are not having a good time at the moment, are they? I mean, Maplin has closed down.
closing.
They've gone in administration anyway.
Yeah,
Toys R Us.
yeah.
Um,
I'm gonna go and try and buy a discount PS4 on Monday from my local Toys R Us dealership. Toys R Us dealership? I tell you what, I'm terrible. This
You've been
morning I
working
was.
Are,
on
are you okay?
No, I was on no, seriously, I was on the phone to a car parts manufacturer, and I was trying to order oil or something, and they said, "What's the card expiry date?" And I said, "Oh, it's the 11th month of the 20th year," and I was like, "What the fuck have I just said?" I literally said over the phone, fucking, I was like, sorry, what the fuck am I talking about? Long day. And he just started pissing himself in the background. I was like, mate, it's not that funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, what were you saying?
I went
The
into
20th,
here's an interesting story actually about people bad customer service, so you can consider it bad. I don't know. Basically,
customer
my
service.
sister was busy over a weekend with family issues and stuff, and she wasn't able to go get. So she was starting university on the Monday. She wasn't able to get stuff for university, so things like your pens, your paper, and everything. So me and my sister, on the way to go visit her, decided me and my other sister, B.
How many sisters do you have?
I have two. So
Really? I thought you only had one.
no, I got two. So I've got B, who's my closest to my age, but she works at my college. So she was like, okay,
Oh, that's handy.
yeah. So at lunchtime, we'll go and go buy her all this stuff. So we went and we looked at stuff, and we went to like a decent place, and we as we was paying for it, we agreed that we were going to pay half and half. It was all good. And the cashier said, "Oh well, it's going to be this much. How much is what's that in half?" And I was like on my phone, and I just saw the calculator button, so I just quickly typed it in, and then clicked enter. And I was like, "Oh, it's this much." I said, and she kind of looked at me, and she was like, "What?" And I wasn't thinking about, I wasn't processing it in my mind. Okay, I didn't think about it at all. I just kind of punched it into a computer, and I just read out the answer. And she kind of looked at me as if I was stupid. And then I was like, oh, I just put it in my calculator. It's probably wrong. I might have done that wrong. And then my sister B told her, oh no, it's this amount, and told her the correct answer. And the cashier agreed, and I went, oh yeah, that would make sense. And we all kind of chuckled. And then the cashier continuously made statements to the effect of, you need to go back to school. Goodness me, could you get that wrong? And it was just, it was every
You're like,
single...
okay then, fine, yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of like, okay, yeah, I got it. I made a mistake.
Get the point, yeah.
I get the point. And
Move on.
the first one was kind of funny. My sister laughed, I laughed. It was kind of like, yeah, okay, whatever. And then as we was leaving, she said the one statement was like, you need to go back to school. And it was kind of like, okay, you're like 65 working in Wilco's, Someone else.
Sorry, love.
I've
sorry,
got a good one
sorry
after
that
this,
I
actually.
offended you with my bad maths, and it wasn't even bad maths. It was just lack of effort and initiative to just think of it. So as I was walked out, I just said to my sister, she was a bit horrible, wasn't she? And she was like, yeah, I know. And then we had a full-on rant to her on the way to my sister, Abigail, and it was awful.
So I've got another good one, actually. I've just remembered my favourite story from work so far. So obviously we have a lot of Mercedes-Benzes, not it? We have about 9, I think, 9 or 10. And the way Mercedes, I don't know if you've ever, had a Mercedes or anything in your family, but Mercedes don't give you a service book. There's a printout that you have to get from the dealership if you want to know the service history of the car.
What?
Right.
I know.
Is it all electronically stored then?
Yeah, it's all electronic. So you're pretty fucked if you don't take it to Mercedes. But anyway, we had 5 Mercedes we needed to get the service histories for. Now, Mercedes is notorious. They don't talk to dealers about service history. They only talk to private users. So you can kind of guess. There's 5 Mercedes-Benz dealerships in our local area. I called every single one, pretending I was a different Mercedes-Benz customer with a different car. And so this is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I just...
There's nothing wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong with it. My phone just went off.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's
I just said I bought this Mercedes. So I called my local, ironically, my very local one around the corner from my house. Well, not around the corner, but in my city, because I work somewhere else. But anyway, I called them, and I said, hello, my name is my name. And I've got this Mercedes, can you give me my service print? They said, okay, we'll call you back with that. And so about half an hour later, I get a call back from them. And they say, hello, my name. My second name starts with a B. And they said, hello, Mr. We've got your service information.
Mr. Barkles.
Yeah, it's Mr. Barkles. So they said, we've got your service information for you. We've sent it to your email address, which is, barryallison@bca.com. And I said, I didn't give you my email address. And you just said, hello, Mr. Barkles. What would you think? Why would you think my name is Barry Allison? And she was like, oh, I don't know. Why? And then said, so Barry's got a service issue with Mercedes now. She's like, yeah. But that's not the best one, because I called another one in the next town over, and she said, "Oh, what's your email address so I can send this to you?"
Imagine if it
'Cause
was
I
the same person just in a head office and they just pass
Just get in the
this.
car and drive to the other one just to answer the phone.
No, it was that. It was a different.
Well, no,
it was a
maybe they
different
passed the callbacks to a head office that did it all, and it was just the same one. Was like, hang on, weren't you? Didn't what?
So
That'd be interesting.
you know, sort of typical. I don't like to say it, but sort of like very stupid person in customer service.
Yes.
You know, you call them
Typical
up
customer
and you're a
service.
bit like, how do you manage to put your shirt on in the morning and remember where your toast goes in the toaster?
Yeah, I called the DVLA recently, and I had the same sort of customer
Yeah.
service.
But anyway, so I called this woman, and she comes to me and said, "Hello, Mercedes-Benz, Crystal speaking." And I'm like, "Oh, Crystal, okay, this is."
Hi, Crystal.
And
Chav.
and I said, "Hello, Crystal. I've got this Mercedes Benz. I'd like the service history for it." And she says, "That's fine. Can you give me your email address?" And I go, "Yes, this is my email address." Now, me being stupid, I spelt my email address wrong. So I hang up and I realise I've spelled it wrong. So I call back and I say, "Crystal, I spelt my email address wrong." And she said, "Okay, what's your email address?" And I do it right this time. And she says, "Okay, so that's, I don't know."
Did you give her your work email address, or do you
I didn't know. I gave her a personal one. So I gave my personal one, and I said, for argument's sake, it was, like barklesexylobster@gmail.com.
Yeah.
But my email address has it, because I was using one of my companies, like one of the ones I run privately, not my dealership one.
Yeah.
So it had UK at the end of it. So it was like this company UK@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, "So that's this company at ukgmail.com." I was like, "No." And she was like, "Okay, so it's company at this ukgmail.com." And I was like, "No." And she got it wrong 5 times. And eventually I was like, "Look, fuck it. I'll just give you my personal email address." And I just gave her my personal one. And she still didn't send it properly.
I people like that really frustrate me.
But that's the thing, it's so stupid, because I know you can get digital printouts. So I called another 2 dealerships and they wouldn't send them to me. And then the 5th one I called about the most expensive Mercedes we had, they said, "Okay, we'll give you a call back." And it's now a week later and I still haven't had a call back from them.
I don't think you get
Why
that
have you
callback.
yeah, why have you left it till
I
a
called their
week?
dealership 3 times today about a different car. I'm very glad the person who answered wasn't the person I spoke to last week, because I was talking about an AMG Mercedes this time. I'd be like, "How many fucking Mercedes have you got?"
You're trying to run your own Mercedes dealership at the moment, aren't you?
Well, we've got like 9, so...
Yeah. I mean, oh, my computer's dying. No, everything just went black. There we go.
Yeah, just shake it.
I have an interesting story for you. Not to poo on yours. It's just
Just take a shit on me, don't
Okay.
worry.
So
2 girls, 1
I
cup.
went into Tesco recently.
Oh, is it for like, beating me up in the car park?
Get some horse.
Hang on. So I went into. We had an early lunch because our teacher let us go half an hour early because he said go do stuff in the library, which of course we went to KFC with. So we went there, and surprisingly got some chicken. And then we carried on and we went to Tesco, and we thought we'd get some sweets for our next lesson to munch on at the back. And as I was walking past these two gentlemen, one of them pushed their arm in front of me, and I was like, okay, what? And as if he was going to hit me, sort of thing, and retracted quite quickly. So I kind of looked at him, quite startled by this, and was like, what? What are you doing? Didn't say that. I just kind of looked at him like that and carried on walking. And he was like, "What are you looking at?" To which I kind of was.
Oh no!
I was still startled, and I was like, "Well, because you just did that." And he was like, "Don't get cocky with me, son." And I was like,
Was he all Welsh and all that? Was he
So-
like, "Don't get cocky with me, son. I'll come and beat your ass, son."
"No, he was Irish. He was Irish."
"Don't get cocky with me, son. I'll come and beat your fucking asshole."
Yes, yeah. So he was like, "Don't get cocky. Don't get cocky." Like
He's
that.
Indian now, is he?
His impressions
Don't
went
get
straight out
cocky
the
with me, I
window.
will come and get
So I carried on walking, and it was just kind of, I'm not going to say anything, but me being me, I had to have the last word, or the last winning part of that. So I saluted him as I walked away.
Why?
I don't know. I don't. And it was kind of interesting. My friend kind of was like, "Carl, don't do that to people like that." And I'm with my friend Lewis and Lauren, And Lauren
Of
just kind of
course.
went, "You can't do that to things like people like that." And I was like, "Oh, it's fine. It's all good." He wasn't going to do anything. And as we was kind of looking at the Haribos, I saw him storming around the corner towards me. And he squared up to me quite aggressively, which is, if you don't know, basically he put
Five
his
foot
nose
one.
on my nose, looked at me straight in the eye,
Did you
and
say you're gonna kiss me next?
he was
Oh,
that close. He was that close. So it was kind of like I was completely surprised, and I didn't know how to react to the situation. And I was thinking in my head several things. I was thinking, if I say anything else cocky, he's gonna punch me. If I try and walk away, he's gonna punch me, and his fists are quite clenched. He might just do it anyway, you know. And he was like, "What did you just do then?" And I was like, well, I saluted you, sir." And he was like, "What? Why on earth would you do that? I'm pretty sure you just." He was trying to imply that I flagged him, which is putting my middle finger at him, and it's completely out of my character to do such a thing. And I kind of explained that, and I was like, "I apologize that there was any misunderstanding on that front." But seriously, I was just saluting you as I walked away, and I was trying to, like, diffuse and be very calm in the situation, but he was very aggressive. Like, this aggression was just, my friends were terrified. They didn't even look at the situation. They were looking at Haribo still. They were trying to have any disassociation with me that they could. I was quite offended, to be honest. And his friend seemed quite embarrassed by the situation also, but it also seemed quite. So then he said to me, he was like, "Walk away, leave, walk away." So I was thinking, okay, if I don't walk away, I'm gonna get shot, or like,
By an
this isn't
angry
America.
Irishman.
by an angry Irishman,
I thought you said Arab for a minute.
or uh, or if I do walk away, I'm gonna look like scared. So I thought, I'll just walk away, because I need to go get some schlur anyway. It's that way.
That's the most middle class thing I've ever heard of
Hey.
you say.
So,
I was going to have a fight, but I was like, I need to slur anyway, so I just
So
walked
I
away.
went to the drinks section.
I got
So-
the gin and tonic instead. The Schweppes were just out of stock.
Tesco said they were going to ID me, so I got the next best thing.
so I walked away to pick up the schlur, and I picked up the schlur, and as I was walking back, I was thinking about it in my head. I was like, okay, well, if they are going to beat me up, do I really want to be worrying about my schlur? So I walked back and I put the schlur down. And as I put the schlur down, he walked past me, and his friend said to me, "Get your stuff and just leave. Okay, you can buy your stuff if you." And I was like, okay, well, thanks for allowing me to buy my schlur, And I still kept it down, and I walked back to my friends. And they were kind of like, none of them said anything. Like, they were shaken up by the situation more than I was. Okay, I wasn't really scared. I mean, I had adrenaline, and I had some kind of, I was nervous and unsettled by the situation. I wasn't comfortable with an Irishman squaring up to me, but I wasn't
Was
really.
it better if he was like German or something?
I wasn't really.
Or maybe Russian.
I wasn't really scared as such. So we went to the self checkout. I put my stuff through, my Haribos through, and as we was we was about to walk out. We saw that there was about 5 of them all outside, waiting, as if they were waiting for us, and they were looking at the door, and they kind of like, like they were looking at us in the store. So I thought, well, we can't really go outside because we're gonna get beaten up. So my friend just kind of went, "Do you want to get some tea upstairs?" So we're like, "Sure." So we went on the escalator, we went upstairs, and we waited up there for 45 minutes.
What?
Really?
Yeah, we were that. It was that terrifying. When I was in there, was lining up to get tea. My friend, hadn't said anything other than "Let's go get tea." And I kind of went, "Are you okay?" And he was like, "Yeah, I just don't like violence, man. I just don't like violence." And I was like, "Oh," and then I kind of said to him, I was like, "Dude, nothing happened to you. I'm the one that nearly got beat up by a leprechaun. Okay, it's not." you're not in any threat.
You should
here.
have told me store security and call for cops or something.
See, I would do that, but I think the message that they were trying to send with the people outside, and the type of people that they were, I think if I did tell anyone, the situation wouldn't be laid to bed. It would be the police would get involved, and then they'd find out where I lived, and then it's just so much hassle after that might be caused.
I don't say hassle, like
It was,
an angry Irish mob, like.
yeah. I just couldn't be bothered with with what could follow by dragging this on any further. So I decided that I would just leave it at that, and move on. But we waited there for about 45 minutes. We were about 10 minutes late to our next lesson, simply because we were drinking our tea, not because we were, we were trying to wait in there. And we got to the next lesson, and my teacher said, dude, why are you late? Well, it didn't say
So
dude,
only
but
got beaten up in Tesco.
why are you late? So I was like, well, we have a story for you. And we told her, and she was laughing. She found it funny, how we dealt with it, and she was like, "You were very diplomatic. Well done." And I was like, "Thanks for that." But yeah, it was.
Dear,
Because you have a lot more patience than I would have for something like that.
See, it wasn't really. I went to a rough school. Okay, so
I did too. But, I just beat people.
Yeah,
I just got told by idiots.
Yeah, same. I mean, I think in my head, I was thinking, okay, he's about my height, about my build. We're probably about the same sort of strength, but he has more experience in this than I do.
How do you know? You're like, oh,
Telekinesis, how many years have you been fighting?
He's got a degree in brawlology.
No, you can
He's
just
a
tell.
thug.
Do you know when you can tell by people's character that they,
The maiden's head.
considering he's got scars on his face and he is quite aggressive, and
Was he wearing
tell,
a trackie?
It wasn't a squatting Slav.
He was Irish, he's
It's
not
just-
Slav.
That's quite true. Irish Slavs.
Yes, I just felt it was. I was not going to pick a fight with him. I was more happy with just having the situation dealt with, moving on, drinking some tea, buy some schlur, go to my lesson, and live my day and tell the story on the podcast. I know it's such a middle class way of thinking of it, but
Well,
it's.
the thing is, like, I've done that, but I remember when I was walking home once. This is really stupid. I feel really stupid saying this, but I'm not built for anything. I can't fight for shit.
Yeah,
And
neither
so
can I. Don't have any misconstructions about that.
So I was year 12, right? So this is about 4 years ago almost now. Probably actually is 4 years ago now. So I was year 12, and I was walking home along my normal route because I couldn't drive at this point. And some year 7s came up.
Oh dear.
I know. Oh dear. This is
Yeah.
why I was prefacing it. And would just slap me in the face. Full on slap me in the face. I lost hearing in one ear. I couldn't hear anything for a good hour or so afterwards. So obviously that happened. And I went home and I reported to I told my mum. They were from the school I was at, so I got them reported. And the school said, call the police. So I called the police, and lo and behold, a firearms officer turns up at my house a day later.
What?
He's 7 foot tall. He has a G36C in the boot of his 4x4, I think, probably. He's 7 foot tall, fills my entire doorway, and he's taking a statement. And then I realised the kid who's done it, we find out the kid who did it, because we know the name of him. And I realised the kid who did it, I'm probably like 5'10". This kid comes up to about just under my armpit, so he's probably like 5 foot, 4'11".
Mm-hmm.
And literally this police officer who's 7 foot tall and built like a tank goes around his house, and I can only imagine this child shat himself.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my mum wouldn't let me press criminal charges. I
Why?
wanted to take him to court and sue him.
Why?
Well, no, because you're not allowed to. You can't. He's year 7. He does silly stuff.
I mean, I would. Fuck him.
He's little shit. I thought,
Yeah.
yeah, fuck it.
I would have. I think I would have dealt with that situation. I wouldn't have gone home and told my mum. No offense.
What would you
I
probably
was
just
more
have
afraid
smacked
that-
them instead?
The thing is, I was
Sit him on
the
his
thing
arse.
is, it's really awkward when you're like that age because you can't. You
You
literally
can't
punch
fight
this-
him. Yeah, you can't fight. You're technically
right.
too old to
If
fight him.
I'm not a fighter.
Yeah, I guess,
But I
thinking
know I
about that.
probably could have taken that kid on and probably knocked him out pretty
I think I'd have
easily,
just pushed
'cause he
him
was
over.
not- Pardon?
I think I would have just pushed him over.
Well, I kind of did just sort of ram into him. Like he didn't really like. I didn't like.
You run away.
No, I didn't run away. I just sort
Okay,
of
good.
rammed into him and told him to get fucked. Like, because he was being a little shit, and he sort of ran
Okay.
off. And the kid got a official police caution in the end, I think. So,
Yeah, I mean, he was probably he's probably going to turn around and be one of those, people that
One of
end up
those Irish
killing.
people.
like, yeah, one of those
Yeah, one
Irish
of those
people.
sort of people. And he's one day going to come out of prison for slapping you in the face, and he's gonna want redemption for all that police officer that terrified him all them years ago, and he's gonna
Yeah, but he's
find
still
you
only
at the
4
age of
foot
like
10.
55 with his mob, and he's gonna you're gonna have issues later
Do you
on in
know
life.
you're catastrophizing there? There's a thing called witness protection.
Are you in witness protection because
No, my name is not Manuel.
are you in witness protection because you were year
Some
7 slapped you
13-year-old
in the
kid
face?
smacked you, wasn't you?
No, I remember someone I used to know at school kicked a sixth former up the arse when we were in year 7 and got a caution for it.
You what?
You kicked a sixth former up the arse and got a caution for it.
What the fuck? What, did he leave shoe prints on his fucking arse crack or something? Is that how he
Dunno,
got
it must-
caught?
it
I
must be
found
how
when
they
I was in
ID'd him.
school, when I was in year 7, I was terrified of anyone over my year. Anyone over my year, I was
Yeah,
absolutely
that's what I
terrified of
found.
them.
Yeah,
When I was in year 13, I had year 7 slapping me in the face. It was complete. Well, I didn't have that, but you had that. And
Yeah.
I found that as we got older, year 7's got less scared of the people that were older.
Well, to be fair, but
Yeah.
we were probably afraid of the bigger kids, like the ones who were fat. And
No, I
big.
was scared of everyone. Like I was.
I was too, but then again, it must have happened, like whilst we were year 7.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I do actually. I do remember my sister's friends were still in school. They were in sixth form. She went to college, and they were one of them who was actually the year above me. So my sister left school when I joined school, but she had not friends, just she knew people that were in year 7 and stuff. She was like it was like she was his buddy or something. And when he was in year 8, he promised that he would look after me when I was in year 7. But I didn't really know
Mafia.
who he was. I mean,
Yeah,
Hey.
fucking hood
Again,
protection
now,
in
how
it.
I went to a rough school, okay? And we were playing tag, and I remember I ran up to one of his friends or whatever and shouted tag and ran away. I don't know, we did something to this guy, and he then told my sister, and my sister came to me and was like, "You're embarrassing me. You can't play tag at high school," and that was when I lost my childhood.
You know when I realised I lost my child,
Yeah.
when I got excited, but I was I can't remember what I got excited about. I just got excited about the most mundane thing, like
Taxes.
something about it was like getting a new brand of hot chocolate or something.
And that's when you realised it was over.
Or when I was getting excited because I saved like 4p a litre on diesel or something.
This
at
is an
Morrison's.
interesting story, actually, related to that. I got ID'd for Red Bull today.
Do you have? You're not
What
18.
was
though.
it? Was it in Herons?
No,
Like the supermarket shop Herons? Because every time I go there, I get
What's
ID for
Herons?
energy drinks.
What's errands?
Herons. It's a shop thing.
It's not.
No,
It's
it's
not where we
not.
are.
Google it.
Well, I can't want to fucking.
Well, no, I
beanbag.
was in the co-op.
Go Google on a beanbag.
I love
New
it.
invention! The Googling beanbag.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I was in the co-op. I went to. My dad wanted to run his car a bit because the battery died.
What does he drive?
A Ford Galaxy.
No wonder.
yeah.
Sorry.
The
Fucking
battery
slave.
died. The battery died in the cold weather or whatnot. Apparently batteries die in cold weather. Didn't know that.
Yep.
So he was running. We went to Halfords to get some antifreeze, and then we drove up and down the bypass for a bit. And then as we was on the way back, he kind of said, I was like, "Oh, can we pop to co-op?" So I went in there, and there was only 4 Red Bulls out, so I got them all. So I picked up all 4 Red Bulls. I've drunk 3 of them already. I'm about to drink the next one now. But yeah, as I was paying for them, he was like, "Can I ask for ID, please?" And I kind of like looked at him. I was like, "What? Why?" And he's like, "Well, you have to be 16 to buy Red Bull." I was like, "I look over 16. Tell me I look over 16." And he was like,
Is
Well,
it
yeah,
the
you do, but I just need to
Challenge
really.
25
I was like,
shit?
he was like, you really need to get. I was like, dude, I'm 36. You know, like what? What? And he
Mate, I've
kind of
got
like.
3 kids. I'm on the dole. What do you mean?
He kind of looked at me as if he didn't know whether I was being serious or joking. So I don't look 36. Like so he kind of like looked at me with a completely
Did
dead
you actually
straight
say I'm
face.
36?
I honestly said, "Dude, I'm 36. What are you talking about?" And he kind of like looked at me as if to say, what?" And I was like, "I've got my ID to prove it. Hang on." So, I pulled out my wallet and it showed that I was like 17, and he kind of smiled and he let me have the Red Bull.
See, I was really stupid when I was younger, right?
Everyone behind me though, they thought I was 36, so I walked out. I walked out, with the entire store thinking that I was 36, apart from the cashier who
They're like,
knew the
fucking
truth.
Botox, man. It's a wonder. He's about anti-aging shit, yeah. It's probably the worst. Honestly, being ID is weird because CEX is IDs me for a 12-year-old still. I don't understand why.
Oh, you know that you've lost the fucking shit when you get fucking ID for Peggy 12 games.
Yeah, I know.
Hang on, CEX is a store.
Yeah.
Isn't CEX also a convention thing?
No.
No, that's EGX.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Because my
But-
manager kind of said to me the other day, he was like, "Oh, well, you can go to CEX and buy it for, a fiver." And I was like, "What?" So I was thinking, so I kind of let it slide and moved on. But now I realized that he wasn't talking about going to a electronics convention to buy a cable. Yeah.
No, but seriously, when I was younger, I was probably 14. Like, this is terrible. I feel really embarrassed saying this, but I got ID'd for a 12-year-old, right?
You're
And
14.
I took, no. And the worst bit is I took out an iPhone 4 and said, would an 11-year-old have this?
Oh.
And I tried to use an iPhone as fucking ID. And only now do I realise how much of a retard I must have sounded. I was sort of like...
You must have sounded. Oh, I was thinking that you were, contemplating everything in life.
I've. Do you ever do that thing? And it's a bit of a tangent. Do you ever do that thing in the shower when you're having like a really good day and you're in the shower, you're washing off and all that, and then you think like really embarrassing thing you did like 4 years ago, and you're like, oh fucking hell, and it just
Yeah, but I don't really think about. I'm more thinking
Not
about
in the
like
shower.
the really not the
I
really
headbutt
like
the
selfish
shower
things I
screen
did.
when I do. Yeah, I did that. Yeah, I do that as well. Yeah.
So like I remember I must have been about 5, okay, and I went to I was with my other auntie at this point who I was with my other auntie and my
was it
cousin.
for the lesbians together?
So that's wrong.
Whoa.
No,
I just mean
my
was it
my mum's sister, my mum's other sister. So I was with her, and I was with my cousin as well, her daughter.
Well,
And we
they're
walked around
lesbian.
and her daughter. She bought her daughter a jigsaw puzzle.
lesbian.
It was a princess jigsaw puzzle. It must have been lovely.
Don't
And
say you
as was
got
going
ID'd
through
for a
it,
jigsaw.
I said, oh, because my cousin got something, can I get something? And I feel really bad for that. And she bought me a car, but then as I got home, I always remembered that car to be. I always felt bad for it. I don't know. It was
Yeah.
because and I was about 5, and I still feel bad about that moment in life, being cheeky.
Yeah. No, that's fine, man. You did your thing.
I got a
You
car.
got a car out of it, yeah.
I've done some really.
Mm.
When did we start? We got about another 10 minutes to go, I think.
I don't know. I think
We're past the hour mark.
we're
I think
way
no, I
I
past
think
the
we're
hour
past the hour mark.
I don't think we
Yeah.
are quite because I looked just after we started. It was 1948. It's now 2049. Future.
We're past the hour mark.
No, we've got another 10 minutes. You dip.
So,
What?
hang on. We can talk about something big for 10 minutes.
Do you
Okay?
also say your posh boy story? You like?
Oh, yeah. This isn't really a 10-minute story, but it's interesting. I was in work the other day. My manager came over and was like, my store manager, who I've only I've talked to quite frequently, but only about work stuff.
Oh, it hasn't got to that personal level yet.
Well, he can't. He's not allowed. Well, he isn't personal. He's not a personal type of person. Okay.
He's not allowed to be a person.
Well,
not a
he maybe is, but he just isn't. He's very he
Formal.
manages. His way of management is managing the other managers, and he will sit back and let the store do its thing and tell the team leaders off for not doing their job. So there's team leaders in every department, and he will just manage everything. Sometimes on a Saturday he'll come over and be like, "Guys, stop talking. There's customers," but that's about it. But he came over to me and he was like, "So, one of the ladies who worked on the washing machines and stuff, she's like, maybe in her late 40s." He kind of went, and she was like, "Oh, Fee was in TK Maxx the other day." And a customer approached her and said hello and said that they recognized her, and they started having a conversation. And the customer said that she got served by a lovely gentleman when buying a television. And I was like, right, okay, cool. And I was like, carry on with the story. And he was like, oh, they described you as a posh boy, very posh, and everyone knew who they meant. And I was like, right, okay, I'm not posh, I promise. I just sound it.
Yes.
But yeah.
Okay, Bino.
I don't understand. Where is this Bino come from?
Right. So me and Vader were talking
just before this started. Yeah.
So Vader was saying, I was saying to Vader, "Did you put your rabbits in the snow because they're white?" And he said no. And I said, "You should call them Al because they're albino or something." And I said,
call one Al, call one Bino.
Yeah, and I said, well, Bino sounds like a sort of name of someone who went to a private school or a posh boy. And Vader said that Carl would be a Bino. So I think, but if I say it in a really posh voice,
I didn't go to a private school. I went to a very rough school.
I know, but you sound like a Bino.
Yeah, that's what we
if
said.
If I say, "Oh, Bino, would you mind going and getting me another cocktail when we ran the fucking pole people off the road in our Range Rover earlier?"
No, I had an awful cocktail the other day. It was in a work do.
Was it just a cock?
Yeah, no. It was called a Bloody Mary.
Secret Bent life.
Is this a thing?
Yeah, it is a Bloody.
Yeah.
It was awful. It was absolutely disgusting. It was
tomato juice, isn't it?
Pardon?
Is it tomato juice, isn't it?
Tomato juice and there was it was very spicy.
Yeah.
And it was awful. I tasted it, and at first the actual taste itself was disgusting, but the aftertaste was nice. Have you ever found that?
Well, I've
it's
never
usually
had a
the other way around with most alcohol, to be honest.
I'm going to send you guys a picture on our group chat about of my sort of position right now doing this podcast, because I think you'll enjoy it.
Oh.
Well, I'm glad we get to enjoy it, but the listeners don't.
I'll put it out.
In respect to that, I will now go back into being host, and I thank you very much for listening. It has been a pleasure talking to you about all our life stories, and I hope that there is more coming soon. Thanks for listening.
See ya.
Bye.
My computer's going to sleep, so I can't stop it yet. I've sent you guys a picture, but nonetheless, I'm going to stop it.